Echoes of Bellek saunters so Treachery of Ravens can fly. I have spent so long trying to do a video that's concise about this and about this series that my tea is ice cold at this point. So here's what I'm going to say. I have made several videos. I'll probably be posting them over the next couple of days, depending on which ones don't make me look absolutely nuts and chaotic. But I am a chaotic fantasy author about this series. If you want to know more about this series, go check those out. They are longer videos. I promise I'm trying to talk fast in them. They are like 2 to 8 minutes long, depending. Echoes of Bellek and Treachery of Ravens are on Kindle Unlimited. Echoes of Bellek will be free this coming weekend as part of the 4 Seasons of Fantasy and Sci-Fi ebook event as an ebook, so you can check that out. And yeah, basically these are my book babies, and if you like mental health representation, a diverse world where magic's returning, and character-driven fantasy with a very healthy dash of trauma, then and a dash of romance, then check this series out. Chronicles of Osmaria. It's on Amazon. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna work. It's early in the morning for me. I'm still in my pajamas, but I'm like, we're gonna do this. I'm going to explain why Echoes of Bellek saunters so that Treachery of Ravens can soar, and I'm going to try to briefly explain each book, making this an 8-minute video like the last one. Echoes of Bellek is a book that I feel is necessary to read to understand the main character in Treachery of Ravens. It was supposed to be a novella and ended up being actually the first book in the series because it digs so much into who he is and why he's such an asshole at the beginning of this book that you really do need it to understand, because he has his reasons, I promise. Cyrus Arbitrum, the main character, has been disowned by his father because he would not marry the Princess of Osmaria. The princess is his friend, but his best friend, Varen, is in love with her, and she's in love with him. And Cyrus says, you know what, I'm not gonna get in between that, and I don't want the power of being king or being crown prince. Not my thing. So his father disowns him, and he can't go to his friends because he doesn't want any chance of being forced into this marriage, or them or the princess being forced into this marriage. So he takes off on his own with pretty much nothing after living a life of comfort and in a lot of trauma that he's working through, as well as no support system. So he ends up falling into the spiral of addiction. During this whole thing, he does meet people along the way that are helping him and trying to be mentors to him. Not that he always listens. He also meets a woman who is very independent, who is taking care of her ailing father, and who basically tells him, I don't need a hero. I love her. Love at first dagger to the throat, by the way, is a trope in this book. But the book deals a lot with mental health representation. It deals with a hero who is neurodiverse, who has sensory processing disorder. I'm not sure if all the readers notice it, but I have a child who has sensory processing disorder. I have 2 children who have sensory processing disorder. One was recently diagnosed, and so I worked a lot of that into his character. So it has disability, neurodiversity rep. It has mental health representation. It's a slower paced book. The love interest is not as prominent throughout it. It's really about his journey and why he's the way he is for this book. And it has a dash of magic. It has a 1-horse trope. It has 1 spicy scene in it, so it is a spicy book, but it's considerably harder to market. And see, we're at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Treachery of Ravens. Maybe I should make a separate video. Come back for part 2. I'm about to give up on this. Okay. I have tried to do this for like the last hour. I'm trying to explain my book series, Chronicles of Osmaria, in a short video. I've gotten this one done in under 2 minutes. I'm going to post that part 1, Echoes of Bellek. This could be available for free next weekend as part of the 4 Seasons of Fantasy and Sci-Fi event. Short book, easy read, but you really need to read this one to read this one, but this one is not as marketable. It has a few tropes in it, but it's not as marketable, okay? This one has like all the tropes. Treachery of Ravens. Treachery of Ravens, it has the who did this to you. It has the hero losing his ever-loving mind when she gets hurt. It has the 1 horse and you know, she's injured and they have to ride a horse together. It has the, would you choose the man or bear? Before the man or bear question became popular, I wrote that scene. It has that scene. It has all of that. It has so many marketable scenes, but also I don't want to give too much away, so some of them I can't even use. It has so much mental health representation. It has so much self-discovery, coming of age, with characters that are above the age of consent. It really This book, I love it, and you need to read this one to read this one, because you need to understand Cyrus and why he's such an asshole in this one. But this one really is its journey of the fact that the first edition, I skipped over the depth of a lot of things because I was still coming to terms with things in my own life. And now when I rewrote it, you get that full depth, because now I'm not afraid of writing those things and writing them from my experiences. This book is like such a part of me. I wanted it to succeed, but whenever I try to explain the plot, it takes me like 5 minutes. So maybe I'll just end it here and say that Treachery of Ravens is on Kindle Unlimited. Echoes of Bellek, the first book, which I love Cyrus's character. I love the story in this. I will say it's slower paced. It's only a dash of romance. It has one spicy scene. The love interest is not throughout the whole book, but his journey in this book and what he goes through is really essential to understanding why he's the way he is in this book, and really making the journey in this book, his character journey, a lot more impactful. So both of these are my book babies. Both of them on Kindle Unlimited. Echoes of Bellek will be free next weekend as ebook. Treachery of Ravens is up there. They're very different sizes, but they are both very close to my heart. But this one, because of Elspeth's journey, is probably the one that is even closer. Also, demisexual heroine in this one. She is demisexual. She just is figuring shit out.